All right. Today I have something that I want to teach about, which is very important. And for those who don't know me, I am Apostle Sean from GM, Jesus in Action movement. Today I want to teach the parents. I want to teach the parents because the Bible is the mind, the universal mind of everything. We can find everything in the Bible. If we have a verse where we saw the Bible instructing parents on how to be good parents, it means that there must also be a preacher in our generation to open a verse and begin to lecture to the parents on how to be good parents. Because as far as African parenthood is concerned, we have bigger, similar problems. No matter which country you come from, but we have some similar sentiments that we see in African parents that, if not addressed, we are going to have generations of generations which are going to have a similar problem. Now I want you to see this when it comes to African parenthood. You discover that we have a family, a very, very poor family out there who have 5 children. And all these 5 children, they came at a space of 10 years. On 10 years, somebody can actually have 10 children. And they will be hiding behind, God said to Adam, you must have more children and replenish this earth. They will be hiding behind that, but I really know the reason. And I just want to remind you that God told Adam to have plenty children and fill up this earth, because the earth was empty. So now the earth is already full right now. As we are speaking, it's full. And some other countries like China, they have overpopulation. And somebody is still living in the era of Adam, where he was only him and the wife competing on filling up the earth. But the main problem which causes black parents to keep on multiplying children is, on most cases, a case whereby the firstborn is a girl child, the secondborn is a girl child, then they try the other one, the thirdborn is a girl child, then the fourth is a girl child again. Trust me, if these people are not going to get a boy, they will have plenty children, even 20, until finally they have a boy child. So this shows you that there is too much genderism when it comes to African parenthood. People will have plenty children, not because they want to have plenty, and they really know that their capacity is not that big enough to cater for plenty children, but they are looking for a boy child, a male child, which shows you that we have a very bad mentality of genderism. According to what I know, according to my understanding, a child is a child, no matter she is a girl or he is a boy. But in Africa, once the firstborn is a girl, definitely very soon the father is going to push again for another child. That is why you see, if the girl child is the firstborn, then very soon even the next year, the following year, the woman will be pregnant again. There is no time to rest. Genderism can give you an evil heart and a choosy heart. When you are talking about a choosy heart, this is a heart whereby you will be choosing your child, your children, taking care of this one more than this one, loving this one more than this one. Because obviously, when you have to rush to have a boy child because you gave birth first to a girl child, it means that your heart is partially choosy. So that is why plenty people are having plenty children. There is nothing they are looking for. A boy child. A boy child. And some African men, they are even stupid to a level that they begin to blame their wives for giving birth to female children only. And on that case, you discover that when they have girl children, the investments are very low when it comes to investing into the life of a girl child. And that was the old system of our culture. It was saying, when you give birth to a girl child, it doesn't matter. You don't have even to make her go to school. Don't invest in that, because after all, she will be married. So even when you are grade 7, they are already rushing ahead of you. In their mind, you are already married and you don't have life ahead of you. The only conclusion about you is you getting married, which is very wrong. Ladies and gentlemen, children are children. She is a girl, he is a boy. Children are children, and on most cases you will definitely see that the boy children you are looking forward to are the ones who are going to stress you in the future. Whereas these girl children, these female children, whom you think do not even matter, are the ones who will be taking care of you in the future. Never love the other child of yours more than the other child of yours, because you don't know their futures. You don't know what their futures are carrying. Some of the girl children, some of the girls failed to make it in life because of the way they were treated when they were growing. Sometimes it was indirect. Nobody cared about them because they were girls. That's wrong. Invest in every child of yours, whether she is a woman, whether she is a girl, or he is a boy. Just invest. All of them, they are your children. But African parenthood is different. I'm inspired by white people. White people, a girl or a boy to them is the same. Black parents, they'll be saying, when I die, I want to leave my seed. My friend, if you are a Christian, you will discover that when you leave this earth, that's it. You will no longer have anything to do with this world. So whether you have plenty children who are going to remain on this earth, you will be gone. That will be the end of your life. And you will begin your spiritual journey there. And anything that is happening here won't be part of you. So don't push useless agendas. Don't push some things which are traditional, which came a long way. But if you are to reason, they don't benefit you in any way. You will be in the grave and your spirit will be with the Lord there. So you won't benefit from anything that you will live on this earth. But our mindset was killed by things we received as information from the past, from history. So I want to talk about parenthood. What is it about being a parent? I want to teach some parents here out there to be good parents. Maybe they can be helped and changed. Because most of you are lost in many ways. Going back to the Bible, I'll open scriptures, then show you what it is like to be a parent and how to be a proper parent. Whether you are a single mother, a single father, you are married, you are not, so long you have a child, I want you to listen to this. There is a verse in Proverbs chapter 22, verse 6. Proverbs chapter 22, verse 6. It says, train up a child in the way he should go. Even when he is old, he will never depart from it. So it's saying, train up your child the way he should go with life, so that when he is old, he will never depart from it. So a parent is the one who gives birth to a seed. So you give birth to a seed, something which is similar to you, your offspring. So your duty as a parent is training up the child and show him or her the way to go in life. So that whatever you plant in her, whatever you plant in him, when he is or when she is still a child, is what will nurture the future. So our duty as a parent is planting good things in our children and also discovering their potential. We give them the good within us. We show them the right things to do in life. Then begin to discover who they are, what they are, the potential they are carrying. We don't fight against the gifts and talents in our children. That's another problem with the black parents. If I'm a pastor, everybody born of me must become a pastor. If I'm a lawyer, everybody born of me must go the same direction. Whereas white people, you can have a family of 7, but having different gifts, different talents. But black children, black parents, once a parent is a pastor, trust me, all of them, they'll become pastors. Don't force your children to go against their potential. Discover what's good about them. Sometimes you may be in academics and your children may be in athletics. White people, they discover the talents of their children whilst they are young and begin to mentor and nurture them according to what's in them. So your duty as a parent is making sure that your children have a good character, good knowledge, good reputation, and good everything. Then begin to discover who they are, what did God create and put in them. Then begin to nurture them according to who they are, not according to what you want, not according to what you wish. What you want and what you wish is only applies when it comes to whom. That's your area, nurturing them that they have good characters, nurturing them that they have good manners, nurturing them that they have to love people, respect people, and all those. But when it comes to their talents and their future, discover what's inside them, then promote them, sponsor them, push them. I had that terrible problem because I grew up with my father being an old man. I had a talent, a gift of playing football. In my area, they used to know me as a very good soccer player. So I was in an academy. It was called, I'm sure it's Excel Athletic Soccer Academy. It was ISA Academy. It was in the Academy Premier League. When I went there, there were superstars, young stars of my age who were playing soccer to a very good level. So when I went there, I impressed. Then I was put in the team. I qualified. But there was a problem that whenever I was selected to play for a match, then on Saturday my father would send me to a Muslim children's school which was called a madrasa. It was tough for me. Some will be at the grounds playing soccer. My father would send me there because that's what he believes in. He is a Muslim and he is forcing me to be a Muslim as well. So there was no way my talent was gonna bloom up because I was following whatever my father wanted. But at the same time, I was dying inside, wishing to be in the field playing soccer with others. Then the next week I would come again. Mr. Man, why were you not here? I will explain to them. Sometimes I remember my coach sending me a letter to my father. He never read it. This is what most of you are doing to your children. You are forcing them to be what you want, not to be what they are, not to be what they like. You don't discover your children's talents. You don't discover your children's passions. You are fighting against their eagerness. You are fighting against the talents and the gifts that God gave them. You can be academic but give birth to Cristiano Ronaldo. If you can make a mistake of sending Cristiano Ronaldo to university, you will lose it. Imagine Cristiano is richer than plenty people who are learned, plenty people who have degrees, plenty people who went to school for overseas in all these countries. The only thing that he knows is playing soccer. But look at how much money he's making. There were some people who were disturbed by this. They played soccer to a greater level, but because there was also good in education and their parents were rich enough to send them to university and so forth, their futures were destroyed. Up to now they are educated, but imagine, they are not even rich, they are suffering. So as a parent, your duty is training up your child to be a good person. Then discover what's in them and push them towards that. Are you doing the same to your children? Or you are forcing them to be what you want and what you wish and what you think is right? Sometimes what they may may sound foolish. Of all the better things that you will be thinking about, his passion will be building. And you'll be saying, building. Want to play with dirty. Whilst I have money to send you to school. Then you forgot that building is the same area which you have contractors who are making billions in this world. So anything that God bestowed in your children, it works so long it's the passion, so long it's the gift. Send your children to their passions. So I'll open up verses later. I'll open up verses later because I have plenty of verses which I want to read for you. But right now I want to talk about African parenthood. We have plenty ways we are wrong. We have plenty ways we need to be taught. We have plenty things we need to be lectured to about. Because if you look at African parenthood, right? They don't give information. African parents, they don't give information. They don't talk to their children. They don't have time to talk to their children. That is why you see we grow up not knowing things which are necessary for our lives. African parents, they hide a lot of information. And the information that their children get is from the streets, and which is very dangerous. If you don't sit down with your children and talk to them about life and talk to them about things that they are going to face, your children will grow as confused and dumb. Plenty things that you are seeing developing on your children, they were taught by the streets. They were taught by other people because you were silent on them. That is why they became pregnant at a younger age, because you never had a chat with them about the dangers of sexual intercourse. African parents, they hide information. They think that is too sensitive to tell their children about things to do with sex. But let me tell you something. No matter how much you try to run away from it, the moment they become 15 years, they are already open to those things. There are high chances that they get involved with such things. So it becomes a problem when they never heard about it from their parents and they are beginning to hear it from strangers. And some strangers, they'll be giving them that information, but in a way which will abuse their mind, in a way that they will be taken advantage of. When are we going to have parents who can openly speak about these things to their children? They see them on TV, they see them on Google, they see them on YouTube, they see them everywhere. But from parents, they don't have any word. That is why when a boy comes to the life of your child, whatever he speaks becomes correct, because there is no information in your child. You don't have time to sit. The only thing that you know is when your child comes out and comes back with another thing which you didn't teach here. You become angry and begin to beat your child. Beating your child. Because why? There is something that she did which you never taught here. There is something which she did which you don't expect. But my question is, did you ever tell your child about this? Have you ever had a good time? Because African parents, they don't know that you can actually have a good relationship with your child, whereby you can sit and discuss without having to be angry. You believe that you have to be angry for you to express a point to your child. Like me, I love my mom for one reason. The best reason, apart from her carrying me 9 months in the womb. My mother and I, we grew up this way. My mother was somebody who could beat, even my sisters know. That lady was beating like nobody's business. And I was seeing it as my brothers and sisters were growing. They were being beaten. Whatever wrong thing they would do. I knew that the beating, the upcoming beating was so serious. But I was a young boy growing, so there was no way I was going to be beaten as a last born by that time. So when I grew up, I began to be scared. So if I can grow up, I'm gonna be subjected to this. And you know what? When I was grade 1, I was already in that. Any silly mistake, you could be beaten, and I was scared of my mom. I was scared of my mom. So sometimes, I remember when I would celebrate her absence. Of course, I would miss her because a parent is a parent. She would go to Kariba for some time. The first week, she was away. I was celebrating. Of course, after the second week, I was saying, yo, there are things that I need from my mom that I can't get. Now I'm missing her. But when she is back, the moment we could face each other, there were some times when you could already have problems by the onset of looking at each other. And it was I who was having a problem, but there was something which was wrong about this. Until I grew up with the fear of my mother. Then later, when I was mature now, I was in a situation which was tough for me. And my mom, my lovely mom, sat with me down and began to tell me the secrets of life, her secrets, and some other things which she never told anybody in my family. She told me the hardships and the challenges and the failures she had in life and all the deeper things which made me to fall in tears. And I understood her deeply. This woman is a strong woman. From that day, I began to understand my mother in a better way than the way of beating. I began to love my mother more than the way of her beating me up, because she was expressing her points in a verbal way that I understood well, that touched my heart. But African parents don't have this time. I thank my mother for coming back to me and gave back the sense to me, and I got it. Did you ever sit down with your kid and tell him some other things which can touch his heart? Because you only complain that you don't have money. Do you know that kids don't even understand it? Because when they come to you and say, Mama, I want money for this, the only thing that you do is shouting at them. Didn't you eat Sata? Didn't you eat Papa? Don't you have this? Hey. No, you don't need to do that. As a parent, when your child comes and he is asking for something that you don't have, it's wise that you hang him. You put your hand upon him. You begin to talk to him in a lovely way. You feel very loved, and you understand you better than shouting. Shouting and then too harsh is not good. That is why you hear, there is a verse which talks about that. That is verse Ephesians chapter 6 verse 4. It says, fathers, do not provoke your children to anger by the way you treat them. Rather bring them up with the discipline and instruction that comes from the Lord. Do not provoke your children to anger. And even in Colossians chapter 3 verse 21, note, fathers, do not embitter your children. Imagine. Fathers, do not make your children bitter, because if you make them bitter, tomorrow they will become bitter. This is the Bible for you. So we are getting an instruction here from the Bible. Sometimes the children, you think they don't have feelings, they don't have senses. They can develop anger to a level of bitterness. There are children who are out there who are being bitter for their parents, but because of the fact that they are their parents, they don't have a choice. But there is a way they are treated by their parents which gave them bitterness. The way you speak to your children can give them love or bitterness. The way you talk to your children can give them bitterness or love towards you. If you want to create a bond with your children, have time to discuss with them, talk to them, especially when they are young. African parents, they don't have the time for that. Huh? We're asking for money. Huh? No, it's not done like that. You talk to them and tell them the worst situation. My son, it doesn't mean that I don't want to give you money. I wish if I had a lot. But look at the situation now. I need to pay for your school fees. And your mom right now is sick. And you know, those words will get attached to his heart. And you know what he will be saying? He will say, I want to grow up and change my parents' life. I want to change my parents' life. These people are suffering for me. These people are going through hell for me. But the moment you shout at them, number one, they don't have a reasoning capacity. They are children. They will get angry. And if it continues to happen tomorrow, they will come up with another thing. You react the same. This is when the book of Colossians is telling us here, on Colossians chapter 3 verse 21, fathers, do not embitter your children or they will become bitter. Ephesians chapter 6 verse 4, fathers, do not provoke your children to anger by the way you treat them. Rather bring them up with the discipline and instruction. Some of your children, they don't even know what you are beating them for, because you never told them that it's not right. Especially the girl child. I was talking to parents when I taught about the pains and the tears of a woman. There is a teaching which I taught about the pains and the tears of a woman. I was telling people on how a girl child can get abused or sexually abused or whatever, but will never say a word to the parents because that topic will be very sensitive. To the parents, she knows good, it's a new topic. But in the streets, it happened. Like that is why we are having right now plenty of women who were raped at a younger age, but they never spoke about it until they were even married. And these stories are still traumatizing them. Why? Because they didn't have anybody to talk about, to talk to about this issue. Parents must sit down with their children and lecture to them about life. Lecture to them, especially girl children. When a parent gives birth to a girl child, it's your duty to protect a girl child. This is your duty. Because she is prone to many dangers. I'm talking to all parents here, fathers and mothers. Once you give birth to a girl child, know that you have plenty reasons to be always alert, because plenty things are coming ahead of you. Giving birth to a girl child is like when you are a buffalo, an antelope, a rabbit or whatever in the bushes. Then when you are in the bushes, there are lions, there are hyenas, there are jackals. All of them, they will be targeting your child. It's quite different when you give birth to a male child. Also, there is something that I will tell you about the boys. They also need protection. But the dangers when it comes to sexual harassment and so forth is too much on the side of the girls. So as a parent, when your child is growing up as a girl child, you need to teach her things that pertains to sexual stuff. You tell her that it's not allowed for any man to touch your body. These are the early stages, because there are many here who are very evil. When these children are young, like let's say you can bring a visitor into your house. Don't trust men, don't trust people. You can bring a visitor into your house. Maybe it's an uncle from the rural areas, maybe it's a worker, maybe it's whoever who comes into your house. So there are these kind of people who, when they see young girl children growing, they try to do experiments. They will be touching their private parts, telling them nasty stories, you know, these kind of things. They will be making experiments with their parts, touching them. So the moment they are doing that, remember, your child is a human being. She also has feelings. She might as well enjoy this. And when she enjoys this and she doesn't know anything bad about it, she would rather keep a secret and continue to enjoy with this person until the day she sleeps with this person unknowingly, and you will be not knowing it, and it will happen, and she will never tell you, and it will be eating her heart. So did I actually do this? Did this thing? Yes, you did it. So why can't you tell your parents? My parents never spoke about anything like this. I don't know if it's wrong or right. So a good parent will plant the information in the kid whilst she is growing. Don't allow any man to touch you. Do you know that these things are happening under your roofs? These things are happening when you still send your children to holidays. But because your children are not sensitive to such things, that is why it's happening, and they are keeping it private. I know of plenty young girls from the age of 12 who became sexually active whilst the parents are not knowing anything. And to make it worse, black parents, they don't even see the difference between a person who is now sleeping with the boys and a person who is not sleeping. African parents, we are very foolish. I pray that the Lord give us wisdom and patience and love for our children to an extent that we become so closer to them. Your child must go to a level that whenever a man approaches him in the streets, he will come and tell you, she will come and tell you. But because you never told her, good, you see these men, you are a child. You don't know what is right and what is wrong. It's a police case that any older man comes to you and begins to tell you about love. It's very wrong. This person will get arrested. So the moment you put this information inside her, she will become sensitive to any man who is coming around him. Her. So if any man just comes and say nonsense to this girl child, trust me, she will be on fire. But your children are being approached. Do you know what? If you can vampirize any older man coming to your child, once it sticks to her mind, any big guy who comes to you talking about rubbish is a vampire. You have won the battle. But your problem, your children are becoming familiar with the vampires. Because when the vampires comes to them, they don't have a blocking information that tells them that this is wrong, this is not lawful, this is not allowed, this is a police case. That is why things are happening in the streets and you don't know it. The only thing that you hear is that your child is pregnant. When did she lose the virginity? You didn't know. How many times did she sleep with the boys without you having to notice any change? They come home smelling. You don't check. They come home with the glasses on the back of their heads. You don't notice. They come home tired. You can really see this daughter is tired. You don't notice. You don't know everything about your child. Parents, we need to wake up. We need to begin to be parents, taking care of our kids. We are our negligence is too much. The problems that our children are facing, most of them, they are caused by our negligence. We are neglecting our children. We are not giving them enough attention that they deserve. Yeah, I'm working for my children. I'm working for my children. You will be busy working for the children at work, and there'll be another man busy working on your child. Because you didn't put a hedge of protection upon your child. And you are very foolish to an extent that you think that your children will be protected by keeping them in the gates. You must tell them what is wrong and what is right. Not just closing the gate for them. They will be thinking that you are abusing them. And that one will never work. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, there are children of soldiers who were feared by other people in the areas, who got impregnated. When a girl child wants to go to a man, she can make any plan. Ask us. We've been doing these things in the world. I remember when I was dating this girl. She was a daughter of a politician, a top-ranking comrade who was who joined the liberation struggle. Then that was my girlfriend. At first I told her, I think we need to stop this. What's number one? Your brother is here. Your brother is very big. Number two, your father is a war veteran. I don't want to be killed. She said, don't worry, I will make a plan. And they trust me. We finished our deals without anybody having to know it. So, the biggest thing is not all about punishing them and putting too much pressure and beating them. It's all about giving them information. You don't have to do this. It disadvantages you. But it is very rare to see a black parent having 1 hour discussion with the child. Never. Never. You go to work, you work for him, for her, you give a commandment. Don't go out of the gate as if he is a dog, as if she is a dog. Why can't you take her out and have discussions with her? Begin to show her life. If you keep on doing it every day, keep on doing it every day, you lecture every day, you do it always, your child will never become wild. But the problem is, you relax too much. And the world and the streets will teach your own child. When they were teaching your child, how nice is sex? It was because you never told her how bad it is. Because let me tell you this, listen to these parents. There is no any child, according to my experience, who can be told by a guy, let's sleep together and agree the same day. It's very rare. Most of these children, what they do is, you tell them, okay, can we try this? They will definitely refuse. You come again, can we try this? They will definitely refuse. So you keep on pressurizing them. Then when you see that they are not responding to the pressure, that's when you say, okay, you can find another boyfriend. Right? When they are thinking now of breaking up with the boyfriend, they will say, I think let me just give in. That is how the virginity is taken away. So what it means, too much pressure and consistency on a girl child can cause her to accept even something that she doesn't want. If the same energy can be applied by parents, that they consistently tell their children the dangers of sex without marriage, the dangers of men in the community, that knowledge will stick to their mind, that they will be too much scared and aware. Because I, as a parent, I would just sit down with my kid, tell her, I want you to look at this world now. How many single mothers do you see? And this one will be not the first information. As she was growing, I would have been telling her the same information, but in a very similar way. You know, like the one which is for the children. Then I'll tell her, you look at how many single mothers do you see in the world? Maybe at a later age, maybe 12 years, 10 years, or whatever. Then she will tell me, blah, 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 blah. Then I'll ask her, what is the cause of this? If she doesn't understand, that's when I will begin to enlighten her. This is caused by sex without marriage. When people rush into having sex, but yet they are not what? They are not married. So the chances are like this, are like this, are like this, are like this. I will have time to lecture here about virginity. Boys only want to sleep with you, and most of the times when they want to sleep with you, they can lie to you and tell you all sort kind of things. Hey, if you sleep with me, I won't leave you, I want to leave you. Then I'll give them an example of maybe in our community, single mothers. Would you see this one? For her to become pregnant, she was even told better things, which made her believe, no, all is well, until she fell pregnant. She is now alone. So I don't want you to fall victim to it. Protect your virginity. But black parents, such words can't come out of their mouth. They are very sensitive. So with this information, if any guy can come and try to speak rubbish, already she have the information. She will tell you, I know about this. Any guy can do it. And she will be having examples in her heart, which I don't want to be like Mama Nini. I don't want to be like Mama Nini. I don't want to be like Mama this one. Because she have the information. But your children don't have information. You don't sit down with them and tell them what is right and what is not right. The only day that you will react is the day when you hear that your child have a boyfriend. But you don't have any day that you told him, yeah, good to know. There is a day, my daughter, I will celebrate to hear the issue of you having a boyfriend. I will even call you to show me the boyfriend here. But here we are talking about school. You are still young. You don't need a boyfriend for any reason. Because it will disturb you in this way, in that way, in this way. Then pray to God to help your kid to listen and cast out all the evil spirits. You touch her head and bless her every day. But you don't have time with your girl children. That is why we are having a number of child pregnancies. because you are not giving attention to these people. These little rascals, they need much of attention. They need much of your attention more than giving them money. Whenever you go out to picnics, there is time you need to spare for them to talk to them. When Proverbs 22 verse 6 is saying, train up a child in the way he should go. Training is not a one-day thing. It's an everyday thing. So you don't relax saying, I'm tired. I'll be at work, so I don't have time for kids. I don't have time for the family. That is when you see other unnecessary things developing on your children. No matter how much tired you are, you must have time for the kids that you are working for. Otherwise, you work for them and other men will be working on them. Children are not protected by force. They are protected by the amount of information in them. So this thing starts when a child is growing. You begin to nurture the child when she is young, when he is young. Now I'm talking about the girl child. I think about the boy child, I will mix it up in the next session. I wanted to do this one as only one episode, but I'm going to do 2 episodes in order to have time to explain everything. So let me invest on protecting the girl child. We need to protect our girl children and monitor them, monitor their movements. And some of you here, your girl child have a WhatsApp, you don't even check. Who does she talk to? What does she save when it comes to Facebook, WhatsApp and so forth? Your girl child right now is busy sending nude pictures to somebody and you don't know it, and you are the one who bought the phone. Instead of buying the phone and still have authority over it, you must check whom your children talk to and what kind of conversations. Parents, this information that I'm giving you is not only experiential. This is wisdom from above. I don't have a child. I don't have. Wisdom comes from the Lord, and if you follow this wisdom, you'll be helped. And the experience side is that your children always comes to us, and they'll be telling us things you parents don't even know. They will be telling us, I did this, slept this one, he slept with me, he forced me, he did this. I had another one saying, Father, this is what happened to me. So I had this boyfriend. Then yesterday, he called me to his house and I went. Then he closed the door and forced himself on me and broke my virginity. What is wrong there? Why do you go under the roof with a man? She was never taught. If she was taught, this girl, if she was taught, because every stage of a girl child, it have its own information. Okay, your girl child have grown up. Maybe she's 20-something years, and you still want to protect her. You know now that she's capable of doing boyfriends and boyfriends and so forth. You tell her, my daughter, if you want to protect yourself, never go inside the man's house and expect to come out as a virgin. Most of the people lost their virginity by force, because men use force, and once they use force, it's done. Where can you report? Most of the times you'll be in love. So please, whenever you are in love, don't go under the roof with a man. You must meet in public. There is no need for privacy, because there is nothing you want to do which is private. With this information, if any man can come and say anything that is contrary to what she knows, she is already protected. But you don't have time for that. So you think with your girl child, this one is still you think she's still a virgin. You can look at the way she acts up. You can really see, even the body language can tell you that my daughter now is sexually active. And as you are keeping on looking at this, a bigger problem is coming. She's becoming pregnant because you are just looking at things but you don't check. Invest in teaching your children. Invest in mentoring your children. These people can be mentored. The problem is you want to teach them when they are old. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. It's very difficult. You teach the dog when it is young. When it grows up with those skills when the child is young. Normalize having time even in a month time. Come here, let's sit, let's walk, let's take a walk, let's run. You run, you'll be jogging together. When you are coming back, you are walking, talking about life with your child who is 5 years old. And they will be listening, trust me, they will be listening. The information that you put in them is what they will become tomorrow. Most black parents, they don't have time with their children. You'll be shocked if you hear how your child became sexually active. You'll be shocked. It's a very stupid story. It's very stupid story. And it was close around you. Some of the times it happened by the relatives. I myself, if I'm going to have a girl child, when it comes to holidays, I will make sure that when there is a boy there, I won't allow it to happen. Because people are wicked out there. People are wicked out there. I have seen it a lot of times. When you send your children to holidays, when they are young boys, young what, they don't respect Kuti. You are related. They will try their experiments on your child. When your child comes back, she is now carrying other things she didn't go with. She's carrying other information she didn't go with. That's when you see, you must be careful when your girl child is now being connected too much to a certain male relative. I'm not saying it's bad, but sometimes there will be other things which will be happening, which are more than being just relatives. Uncle. Sometimes it's not uncle. Sometimes when there are two, the uncle will put the hand inside the pants of your child and the child will be enjoying the feeling because she's a human being. Uncle, then it will develop. One day, if you can give them 3 days together in your absence, Topins Wajumuti, fair. Kongo kambaira mbichana kopora sokoto nyarara kato you're addicted. Your children are becoming sexual addicts whilst they are under your roof. Now they prefer to run away from you and go away and enjoy sex. So you are now the enemy of progress because you don't teach your children. Black parents, let's wake up. Black parents, let's wake up. If you are a parent and you are listening to me, you must check every movement around your kid. Check every movement around your kid. Check every development around your kid. You don't know who is the friend to your daughter. You don't even care about it. Mama, we are going there. You don't even check whether it's true. Sometimes a parent, what she does, a caring parent, one of the days, you want to check the progress of your child. If she is going to proper places, she will tell you that I'm going this way, and you follow after. On a distance, or you can send somebody to follow the moves. Why? Because you are spying up. Because these are children. They may trap themselves unknowingly. But you as a parent, the mentor, the owner of this child, you have a right to do whatever it takes to protect this child. Because at this age, they don't know what is good for them and what is bad for them until they fall into a problem. Let's protect our girl children. Let's protect them. I have a lot to say when it comes to girl children, which I'll teach you when it comes to dressing, education. Guys, you know what? I'm on the intros of this topic. I have a lot of things to tell you when it comes to being a good parent. I thank God for this gift. He made me everything. An apostle, an auntie, go-go, uncle, everything on one person. But if you take this teaching so serious, you will be a good parent. Teach these girl children when they are still young. Don't allow them to grow without information. Because by the time you are procrastinating on telling them the necessary information, the bad things will happen whilst you are still waiting to tell them. So protect our girl children. Don't allow scavengers to do whatever they want with them, taking advantage of their ignorance. Plant information in your children. Talk to them when they are young so that they can grow up with the information. I'm crying out to all parents because I've seen a lot of things which happened. There is a girl child I know who was raped. She was sent to a holiday. When she was sent to a holiday, there was this uncle. So like the mother sent the daughter to her brother's house. So meaning that the brother was the uncle to this daughter. Then the brother had a son. This son began to do those kind of things. Touching the daughter, she first enjoyed it. Until the virginity was taken away. She felt the pain and she was traumatized. And she reported to the uncle. Because the uncle saw that this is a bigger problem. If my sister can hear this, my son is going to be arrested. So what the uncle did was to make sure that he covers up for this and made sure that this girl never told the mother. And this girl was threatened. If you tell your mother is going to beat you up because you've lost your virginity. So the uncle made the daughter to feel guilty to an extent that she was scared to tell the mother that I was raped. Everything was fabricated there to an extent that the girl grew up with pain from 12 years until she was 24. She opened up only to me. But imagine how many years did it happen? 12 years ago. But she never told anybody because she didn't have information. But no matter how much it is, you must report. So how many events did happen all along because of that event? There are plenty. Obviously, one event can develop into plenty events. One experience can give birth to plenty experiences. And now she's a single mother of one. And you can see the rape which happened, which took away her virginity, is the one which perpetrated to her becoming a single mother, because she was taking herself as a useless being. You can be raped and nobody cares. So why protect myself? So anybody who want to sleep me, let them. Then there was one, boom, pregnancy. If she was protected, she would have been okay now. But there was nobody to protect her. You must tell them skills if people want to rape you. They must know. Imagine how come she was raped in a location whereby you can scream like a, because what happens is this: when a person is being raped, there is a moment when she is made to feel like it's normal. She's being forced, but at the same time she's being comforted with it. No, it doesn't matter. But when she realizes that here she is about to take away my pride, she will make noise that it will attract attention, and this man will be scared to continue. But don't touch me, I don't want it. She will be even lowering her voice because she doesn't even want people to know. But when she knows that if I allow this man to take away my pride, I'm doomed. She will make noise to cover the walls. Uncontrollable one. Nobody will touch. But because there will be nothing in her, there will be no information, everything will happen. Parents, nobody can teach your children. Nobody can love your children more than you. Nobody can be good mentors to your children. Nobody can take care of your children. I'm crying to you with the love of God. Please. Take care of your children. The parents don't even know. There are plenty of things that I know that the parents don't know. There are plenty of things that I'm exposed to that the parents don't know, and it kills my heart. These stories make me cry because I have heard a lot. Imagine if bigger woman, mature woman, can be abused by men. What about these young girls? You bigger woman, you are being used by pastors. Sometimes you go to pastors telling them your problems. They sleep with you. I've heard plenty, and if such a situation happens, even if the congregation hear that there is a lady claiming that she was raped by a pastor, they will blame the lady. How can a bigger woman be raped? Okay, hey, you want it? Hey. What about young children? I'm praying that the Lord gives you the heart so that you can become closer to your children. Be closer to them that they can feel free. You know what? That is why the reason why plenty of your children are going to discuss sensitive matters with strangers or other people rather than you is because you are so closed up with your children. You are like God to your children. You are very sensitive. Rubbish things you don't want to talk to them about. So they prefer to go to other people who are loose to them, who mind them speaking. Because if your child just bring any sensitive topic, once she opens her mouth telling you something stupid, you respond with a harsh reaction, which makes her scared to speak to you. Our parents of these days. Let you and your children be closer friends to an extent that you can discuss with mama. There is this guy. And it you know better, you're a parent. I'm old, but there is this guy who is proposing me. It's possible to have that kind of relationship. But not in African community. Because after all, you are the one who can protect her. You are the one who can tell her what is wrong and what is right. That is why that is why they are bringing you the shocks of your lives. That it's shocking you because you and her, you are not close. Talk to them. Speak to them. Allow them to tell you that I'm proposed by this guy. Then you tell her the tricks on how to check if the guy is right or not. That kind of a relationship is awesome and sweet. I'm praying that our generation, we have parents like those who are connected to their children. My parents, I want to ask, if your child is having a genital problem, like a problem which is very sensitive, like a private problem, what causes your children, when they are your children and their protection comes from you, what causes them to go to other strange people instead of you? Sometimes it will not be an STI. I'm telling you this because I, as a man of God, as a man as I am, I have plenty of people who came to me with such problems, but they never told their parents. Why? Because once something like that, the parents, African parents, are very... So after all, in conclusion, I'm saying, let's protect our girl children. Let's protect our male children. Both of them, they need our protection because even boys are being raped. I'll come with this in this next section, in the next episode. This is Apostle Sean speaking. I'm just mentoring the parents on how to take care of their children. I'm hoping that I will have good results. I have plenty of points that I would have explained here, but I don't want this sermon to be long. I'll come up with the part 2, maybe probably tomorrow or any day after. May the Lord bless you and give you the wishes of your heart. Those who want to follow Apostle on my social media platforms, you search Gweta Sean Dewroy. So it's Gweta Sean, S-E-A-N, that's Sean. Dewroy, it's D-E-E-L-R-O-Y, Dewroy. Or you search Gia Ministries on YouTube. Or you take my WhatsApp number, which is +27 626 461, +27 626 461, or 0626 797 461, which is a South African number. I wish you well. May the Lord bless you and keep on following what is good, and may the Lord keep teaching you, and may the Lord keep strengthening you so that you can become good parents that He wants. And I thank you for listening to me. May the Lord be with you, and I'm closing up. I'm signing out. Thank you.